If you could buy back 1 hour of your life, how much would it be worth to you? Hello, ladies. Welcome,
Hey, how are
welcome.
you? Good afternoon.
Good. Good afternoon. Good evening for
Good
Rika.
evening from the UK. Yes.
Yeah. So it's another Tuesday, and we are back live with everybody here. So if you're watching it live right now with us, tell us in the comment where you're watching it from, and if you are watching the replay as well, we would love to know as well. So today we are going to have a very interesting topic, and we are going to talk about time versus money. Okay, so today we have some slides for you guys. Let's see what's the first slide. Yeah. So basically, you can make more money, right? You can go find another job. You can do another side hustle, but you can make more time because everybody has the same 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, right? And nobody has 1 minute more or less, but everybody is making use of the time differently. So that makes a big difference. So let me first share about what I think about time and over money. Okay. Your time is your most valuable asset. This is what I truly believe in. Like what I say, money can be earned again and time cannot. So every time I'm always asking myself, right, where am I spending my time? Am I just waking up, lazing in bed, scrolling through Facebook, stalking else's life, and not do anything about my own, or am I spending everything on entertainment and not planning ahead like what I truly want? So for me, I feel like time is so valuable because when you have the time, you can make more money, right? But when you have a lot of money, but you already lost the time, the precious moment, then you can never get it back, no matter how much money you have. So I want to tell everyone today is use your time to build your freedom, not just your income. Because for me, this is a perfect example as you can see from the pictures. The first one on the left hand side is that was actually in Hawaii with Russell. We love adventures, right? And then there's this place called the Coco Head, and it's a long flight of stairs up to the mountain. And we just climb, and you can see like the steps up there and the beautiful mountains and scenery and the oceans. That's what we love to do. So we make use of every moment, even though it's a lot of sweat, right? A lot of huffing and puffing, but it's a great experience and we love that. The second picture is actually in Korea just last year with my friends that I grew up in Singapore. So every year we try to plan a girls' trip. And even though now I'm the furthest away from them in Texas and they're all still in Singapore, we always make it a point to do a girls' trip every year because friendship is valuable. Not because of the distance, but it's the effort that and with the time to continue the relationship. So that's the one really fun trip in Korea in Seoul. And then the last picture, you can see that's my mom over there by my side riding a merry-go-round on a horse. Like if you ask her to do that with her friends, she would never have done it because these are for kids. But then when they visit her, and at the back is my sister and Russell over there. So we're like, hey, we are at SeaWorld in San Antonio. Let's go for a ride, a fun ride. Who cares whether we are not kids anymore? But it's all about the fun and the experience, and that is so memorable, right? We have something talked about, and so I want to say time is the most valuable thing. With time, we can earn more money, and so don't just protect your money, protect your time, and then it is a lot more valuable. And trust me, you won't ever regret it. Yeah. What about
That's
you, Rika?
yeah, Wendy. Thank you so much. You know what? That hits home what you just said. Yeah. So next one will be the don't save living for someday, right? We always say one day when I have more time, or one day when I have more money, or one day when the kids are older, or one day when I retire, right? And I think many of us are guilty of this, and including myself. So now we spend so much time preparing for the future that sometimes we forget to actually live in the present. And honestly, I used to live that way too. And when I first came here to the UK, I my focus was survival and providing for my family. I was juggling different jobs, and I kept telling myself, "It's okay. I will do it. I'll do this for now, and then things will get better in the future." But while I was busy working for a better future, I realized I was missing parts of the present. And I miss lots of my son's activities in school, lots of family dinners because I was working. There were moments when I wasn't there, and that really hurt. And the guilt is, until now, it's like chasing me. And I remember asking myself, I'm working so hard to give my family a better life, but I am missing the life I'm working so hard for. And that question really stayed with me. And because the truth is, our children are growing, our parents are getting older, and we don't get those moments back. And we always think we have more time, but life doesn't pause while we are busy making plans, right? And no, I am not saying to everyone who's watching, I am not saying that you should quit all your job tomorrow and travel around the world, enjoy your life. No, no, we all have different commitments, different responsibilities. We have bills to pay, we have families to look after, but I do believe that we should stop postponing everything that matters, even how simple it is. Like what you see in the pictures, even like go for a walk in the woods, it doesn't need to be fancy. As long as you have the time, you need to be there with your family, especially if you're a parent, right? And having a family dinner, take a little trip, or spending time with your children, call your loved ones if you are like us or immigrants. Don't forget to call your family back home, or finally
Mhm.
start that dream you've been putting off because again you are busy before. But again, it's time not to to focus on yourself, because sometimes that because small moments become big memories. Like again,
Mhm.
back to this photo, that's always we cherish this time together with us. This was like, yeah, you can see in this middle photo, my son was still little, but we still remember that time.
Yeah.
And now for me, success isn't just about earning more anymore. Success is also having time to enjoy what you've worked so hard for. That's one of the reasons I became passionate about building something that gives me more flexibility around my family and my life, of course. So I don't want to wait until I retire to say, yes, now I can finally live my life. That's
Then you
hilarious.
can't walk
You know?
anymore.
Yeah, I know exactly. You have lots of pains. Now I want to live a life while I'm building something. So again, tonight I will ask everyone, think about one thing that you've been saying. I'll do it someday. But then ask yourself, what that small step I can take today to make it happen? Because someday
Yeah,
it's not guaranteed. Don't postpone your life while preparing to live with it, and don't forget to live as well. Yeah, that's for
yeah.
back to you, Wendy.
Wow, that's awesome. Definitely. What about you, Rekha?
Well, I can totally relate to Rika's message because, I lost two of my close friends in the last 2 years. And, it's happened unexpectedly. So it just makes me realize even more and more that you cannot postpone, uh, something like happiness or taking a trip or building memory for someday. You have to build
Mhm.
it now. So the next one is, building a life you don't need escape from. This one, I really like it because my idea of a success has changed over the last few years. When I was working in IT, vacation was something you planned, around your work schedule.
Mhm.
you
Then
had
in advance.
you had certain number of days, and then you request the time off. Then you just have to work around your work life. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's how my life working as IT for many years was, but as I've gotten older, time has become such a valuable asset to me. Now my husband and I want to travel. I want to be available for my girls and my family anytime they need me. I need to be there, and I still want to do something meaningful for myself, right? So for me, time freedom, it doesn't mean doing nothing. Some people really think that time freedom means, oh, you just don't have to do anything. So I actually enjoy being productive. It means having more choices over when I work, what I work on, and how the work fits into my life. That's one of the things I really appreciate about building something online. I can take it with me on any vacations or whatever. Like you've seen me travel every month, and my business goes with me because my phone goes with me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm trying to build a life where work doesn't decide everything for me, because at this stage of life, I don't want to spend all the years waiting for those 2 weeks off that I finally get to live, right? I want to work to fit around my life, not my life to fit around my work. So that's me. Over.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you guys. Like, it's all about the life that you want to create, right? So, like, growing up or looking for a job, I think the most common question that people's going to ask is, hey, in the next 5 years, what's your goal? How much money do you want to make in the next 5 years? However, like that is important. However, now I'm going to ask myself a different way, right? What kind of life do I want to live, and what kind of life do I want to create for myself? And from that question, then I can plan like, okay, how much money do I need to make that life happen? Right? So yeah, it's really a different perspective in life, and that actually makes it so much more exciting and motivating. Because when you think about, oh my goodness, I can go on my next trip, I can climb the next mountain, or I can go to the next my dream restaurant to eat a Michelin 3-star restaurant or whatever it is for you, right? Then it makes me exciting. And instead of thinking about just the numbers of how much money that we want to make. Well, so I want to ask everybody that's watching us right now, ask yourself, if you have more time freedom, what would you do with it?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so with that question, thank you everybody for listening in. And if you are interested in getting more information about doing a digital business, just like what we're doing right now, and that you can bring along your travel and still work at the same time, then feel free to drop us a comment or drop us a private message, and we will love to help you out. Thank you so much, ladies. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. See you later.
Thank
Bye.
you. See you next week. Bye.